Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Ashley, which is Ashley's Media Addiction, and today I'm coming at you with a book versus movie for Dragon Rider by Cornelia Funke. So I read Dragon Rider for my book club, the Recreate Book Club, which is all about retellings and books that have been turned into movies, games, that sort of thing. And this was a reread for me, so do keep that in mind. My thoughts will be based on the reread of it that I had, and it was also the first time watching the movie. So, yeah, this, if you don't know, is about a dragon named Fire Drake, and he is trying to save the dragons from being exterminated by humans who are trying to take over their land. So he decides to try and find the dragon homeland to see if they can find a safe haven there. And along the way, he comes across a human, a homunculus, a genie, sea serpents, all that fun stuff. It's so magical, and I just really, really enjoy it. So let's start in terms of the book, and then we'll go into how I thought about the movie. So, as I said, this was a reread. The first time I did read it was a 5-star read, and on a reread, it was a 4 stars. So, for me, I just really, really love the adventure in this. I am a huge adventure person. If you show me an adventure in a book, I'm usually drawn to it. It's just something I really enjoy. And I do love adventures in movies as well, so it definitely does help. But I actually really love the friendship in this. You see a lot of Twigleg, who is the homunculus, who is also a spy for the bad guy, and we find that very early on in the book. So we have him, and we have Sorrel, who is a brownie, who is Fire Drake's best friend, and we also come across a boy named Ben, who becomes the Dragon Rider. So I actually really love the friendship that is within this book. And not only that, but you see so much of the actual adventure. You see so much of each individual part of what makes this book just an amazing read, to be honest. And all the different segments in terms of what kind of happens. And all of the characters kind of interlink throughout the whole book, which I really liked. And even some minor characters who I don't really want to go into just because I don't want to spoil it do show up every so often throughout the whole book. So you do actually feel very brought in, and I think it's just such a fun read. For me, I really love the illustrations as well that's in this book. So for example, you've got like this like kind of castle-y sort of thing in here, and you do also have sea serpents and dragons and everything like that in terms of smaller pictures. Um, And I just really, really loved the illustrations, and it just really, really brought me into the book. I absolutely love this book. I think it's just so lovely. And I think at the back it just describes it so well, because in the 3 words it does choose, it says friendship, adventure, and dragons. And that's exactly what this book is, which is just lovely. I do think that the bad guy is really, really shown well in here as well, because you do also get his perspective of things all the way throughout the book. It does kind of do Fire Drake's perspective and stuff, and then you go over to the bad guy, which is Nettlebrand, and I just really like the different dynamic and how you do have all these wonderful magical creatures all the way throughout this book. And yeah, I just really, really love it. I gave it a 4 stars. I was kind of in a bit of a reading slump when I reread it, but originally it was a 5 stars. I still really, really loved it, and I can't wait to read this one again and also carry on with the series. However, from there, we do need to talk about the movie. So the movie is a 2020 release, and it stars Thomas Brodie-Sangster, Freddie, Highmore, and Felicity Jones. And it does have some other actors as well, but those are the main 3. So for this, I thought it was okay. I gave this one a 3 stars. I thought I didn't really like the fact that they modernized it really. So in Dragon Rider, it's very much they're using maps and trying to navigate and just using so much of like old school sort of methods for this adventure. Whereas in this movie version, they have like Skype and they're using phones, and it just really just drew me away from the story, and I didn't really feel the same sort of connection with it because it was just far too easy at that point as a result. I did also think that I was missing some of the key characters in here, like returning and showing their segment as well, which I really like the side characters in the book and how they keep showing up and giving help to Ben and the others, whereas you don't actually get that in the movie. I do think the movie, though, is really good at showing what's happening back home with the dragons, because in the book it doesn't actually show you. You only see the beginning part with the rest of the dragons, and then Faraday goes on his adventure. We don't see the home dragons since then. However, in the movie, they do focus a lot on the dragons that are still back home and what issues they're facing with the humans as well. And I did actually really like that. I really like seeing kind of what's happening there, how everything's kind of going on back at home compared to what Fire Drake is going through. Um, I did think, however, that the ending was just so different. So I don't want to ruin endings, but they're very, very different endings, really. I just kind of wish they stuck to the book ending. It was a lot more fulfilling for me. It was a lot smoother, it was a lot nicer. Whereas this one, nah, the film was okay. I just didn't like the way it was done in comparison. But I think that's just because I love the book so much. It does have some good animation points in here, though. It does go through the main points of the book, but it does it just really, really quickly. So the part with like the gin, for example, is just done within like that, and you don't really have the same effect as you do within the book. And I'm saddened by that, because I feel like they spent a bit more time with the characters and with the adventure throughout the movie. It would have been even better to watch, and I just think it didn't need all the technological advances that was given in the movie either. They could have kicked it back to old school and kept it a lot more like the book. I did give the movie a 3 stars. It wasn't terrible, but I just didn't like the modernisation of it really more than anything else. And I just thought it was kind of lacking some of that added support from the characters. And we didn't really get enough of Twigleg, who is a key character within Dragon Rider. We don't see as much of him within the movie, and I think that's kind of a shame, because he is such a key part of the actual book. Um, but yeah, I think I like them for different reasons. I really like the fact we got to see more of the home and what was kind of happening back in their homeland in terms of the movie. I did think the adventure and the friendships was a lot stronger in the book. For this, the movie just did not hit the right space that the book does, but the book is definitely incredible, and I can't wait to read it again and carry on with the series, as I've already mentioned. But yeah, that was my thoughts of the book and the movie. If you've seen or read either, please do let me know what you thought of the movie or the book, or what you think of both. Do you agree with me? Do you not agree with me? I'd be interested in finding out what you think in terms of the book and movie. And what book versus movie would you like to see me do next? I'd love to find out. So yeah, that's all from me today. Please remember to give this a big like and to subscribe down below for more book and movie content, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.